Every girl in this world dreads turning 18, because once they come of age, they are required to heal sentinels. But across the galaxy, the ratio of men to women is dangerously unbalanced. Many women burn out their psychic energy and die on the very day they turn 18. This is why every guide hides her true rank. But the girl standing before us does the exact opposite. She has zero psychic energy, a complete powerless female, yet she boldly calls herself an S-rank guide and takes on high-ranking sentinels left and right. In this galaxy, the higher a sentinel's rank, the more devastatingly handsome he is. And when faced with these beautiful men on the edge of collapse, she doesn't heal them. She ogles them shamelessly, flirts without mercy, then stabs them with a useless suppressant and calls it a day. The higher-ups quickly sense something is wrong. This so-called S-rank guide cannot even summon a spirit form. Furious, they exile her to Purgatory Star, a place that holds the most dangerous criminals in the entire galaxy. It is the one place every guide fears most. Yet even there, she refuses to behave. She drags up the most terrifying creature from the deep sea. At first, the creature thinks he has met a kind-hearted angel. She simply says she is scared, and he willingly chains himself inside a chamber filled with torture devices. Only then does the girl reveal her true face. She forces herself on him while he cannot fight back. But the merman was once the most powerful being in the galaxy. The moment she releases even a trace of psychic energy, he drains her dry. She collapses face first into his chest and never wakes up. And that is exactly where I arrive. A low, magnetic voice rumbles in my ear. Had enough of a feel? A pair of mismatched eyes glow with killing intent. I sit up and realize the man's body is locked tight in restraints. His pale, powerful body is covered in whip marks. Panic slowly creeps across my face. A vice grip. A braided whip. What on earth is going on? A buzzing fills my head, and the original soul's memories flood in. I look at the battered merman before me and slowly reach out a cup of water. In a panic, I slam a button, and a surge of electricity explodes out, shooting straight through his tail. I just wanted to give you some water. Who told you to bite me? Then comes his bold, desperate reply. Whatever you want, I will do it. That guide essence just now? Give me a little more. Not a chance! I know exactly what happens. The original soul was drained dry this very same way. Rejected, Kai still presses on. Then keep torturing me, like before. Just give me one more drop of guide essence. The guide essence that just flowed into him is nothing like what he felt before. Tiny as it was, it pulls at him like nothing else ever has. Then, click, Kai stares blankly at his newly freed hands. He is not quite caught up yet. I put on a brave face. I freed you, but you are not allowed to kill me, or I will shock you again. Then I pour water over Kai, just enough to keep him from drying out, but not enough to restore his strength. Then stop. Kai stares. Does this woman have any idea how powerful a dark sentinel really is? These restraints are a little annoying, but not impossible to break. Kai had planned to kill her today and escape, but now he has changed his mind. The little guide, once so dark and brutal, now looks almost innocent and sweet. She thinks moving to the corner means he cannot see her, but Kai clearly watches her nervously picking at her fingers. Long after the little guide disappears, Kai still has not moved. Then, he slowly shifts his no longer cracking tail. A flicker of confusion crosses his face. Something feels different now. The nutrient fluid will only last 3 days. I need to find food. I step outside. Purgatory Star has no day or night. All light comes from clusters of glowing nebulae. This is a world woven in black and red. I am so tense exploring this new place that I completely miss the tiny drone, no bigger than a grain of rice, trailing me at a careful distance. Such a delicate, pretty girl, yet beneath that innocent face hides a heart more vicious than any snake. She has been out this long and she still has not died. I reach a river and find a water plant with enormous leaves nearby. My fingers twist and fold. A simple container takes shape in seconds. Zin knows how to do this? Every guide in the galaxy is treated as a precious light. The moment their psychic energy awakens, they are sheltered and spoiled for life. So when I walk out of the prison, everyone assumes I am walking to my death. Then I find some mushrooms. No idea if they are poisonous. The merman is a local. He definitely knows what is safe to eat and what is not. Today's poison testing duty goes to him. I found some food. Can you check if it's safe? But before I even finish, the merman leans in and swallows the mushrooms whole. Those shark-like fangs give me a serious fright. Then he looks at my outstretched hand. Kai pushes his luck and licks my fingertip. The memory of being bitten flashes back instantly. I slap the merman without thinking. But Kai does not get angry. He smiles. Because what reached him before the slap was the little guide's scent, and it fills him with a warmth he cannot name. She actually went out to find food. She even fed him. Sure, this tiny meal is barely enough to fill a gap in his teeth, but Kai feels strangely satisfied. Even his wounds seem to hurt a little less. Seeing Kai this calm and unbothered, something softens in my chest. I carefully reach out a thread of psychic energy and let it drift toward the merman's head. Kai's eyes are closed. Then he feels it. A faint psychic energy hovering just outside his mindscape, like a small hand gently knocking at the door. Soft, careful, never pushy. His iron-solid defenses, cracked open just like that. Before he can react, his mindscape swings wide open. Kai goes completely rigid. The merman is stunned, because a mindscape is the most guarded part of every sentinel, defended every second of every day. Yet his opened the instant her psychic energy touched it. Even my psychic self inside the mindscape is completely lost. The books say the higher the rank, the stronger the resistance. And yet here I am, strolling right in. Since the original soul never once fulfilled her guide duties, I rack my brain, but have no idea how to heal anyone. Facing this vast ocean, I am completely at a loss. Luckily, the dark miasma on the surface is hard to miss. I instinctively reach out with energy and pull it in. Once I have cleared most of the miasma, my psychic self begins to dim. Before I leave, I glance back and spot something enormous gliding beneath the waves. eyes. When I open my eyes again, I find myself somehow in the merman's arms. I instinctively try to sit up, but I am held down tight. Kai stares at the little guide with something close to obsession, her soft, beautiful face still lost in the overwhelming wave of healing, his arms tightening without thinking. I feel like I cannot breathe. I press my hands against his chest and push. Kai blinks back to a sliver of reason. Were you just healing me? So that is what psychic healing feels like, I think to myself. Seems pretty manageable. I ask, do you feel any better? A little. My mind feels clearer than it has in a long time. And your psychic energy, it is actually the legendary green. Thank you. Then Kai drifts off in thought. Before the healing, why did she stop hitting me? I look at the merman. His color is so much better. A small wave of joy washes over me. Good. I do not have to worry about being unable to make up for what the original soul did. At that thought, I slap my thigh in excitement, but I miss completely and smack the merman's smooth, wet tail instead. This wet? Did I bore that much? Kai sees my confusion and explains. When I have enough strength, my skin can produce its own moisture on land. Then I notice a dark hole in his tail, a scar left by the original soul's tools, nailed right through it. I'm sorry. What? This time my apology is completely sincere. I am sorry. I will never hurt you again. I promise. Something in the merman's icy eyes begins to thaw. He stares at the girl's eyes for a moment, then suddenly turns away, flustered. Afterward, I head to the kitchen. I dump all the mushrooms I found today into a pot. A big pot of soup. After all, a triple S rank sentinel has an incredibly strong body. Let him test the poison first. Hee hee. Meanwhile, in the containment chamber, Kai has barely finished wiping away a few little pearl tears when the little guide walks in with an enormous pot of fresh food. She actually went to the kitchen and cooked. In all my life, I have never seen a guide do rough work like this. In this galaxy, even the lowest F-rank guide has sentinels lining up to wait on her, all desperate for just one chance at healing. And yet I am being looked after by a precious guide. Here on this brutal, lawless purgatory star, the despair and hatred of these past days, it is like cotton candy wrapping around them, every dark feeling dissolving, drifting away with the tears that slip from his eyes. He had buried himself in the deep sea, waiting to fall apart and die, all while dreaming that someday a gentle little guide might come and save him. I set down the pot and go grab bowls and chopsticks, completely missing the storm of emotions crossing the merman's face. When I return, I find the man sitting on the bed, eyes full of tears. I freeze. Is the merman's moisture function really that dramatic? I look at the heavy chains still wrapped around his tail. Does it hurt? I ask guiltily. The original soul found torture devices from who knows where, driving them straight through his tail and bolting both ends with chains. I have been wanting to free him for a while, but the original soul's memories are such a mess that I cannot remember where the key is. Looking at this miserable merman, I decide that tonight I will tear this whole place apart until I find it. Stop crying. I reach up and wipe his tears. I will free you tonight. Let's eat first. Kai stares at me in disbelief. You're going to let me go? You cried from pain. If I still don't free you, what kind of person does that make me? A tough, battle-hardened man like himself. How could he show such weakness in front of a guide? Kai scrubs at his face hard. You saw wrong. I was not crying. And even if I was, it was not from pain. It was because she was so kind to me. Just a few days ago, she was raving like a madwoman, torturing me, trying to make me cry. I held my jaw shut and did not shed a single tear. So why would I cry over something like this? I hold back a laugh and choose not to call him out. All right then, let's eat. Once we eat together, we're officially at peace. And no revenge allowed after this. During the meal, the merman's feelings are complicated. Since childhood, he has been the standout among his peers, and the worst suffering of his entire life happened in this very room. His body was violated, his dignity crushed, ground underfoot. Yet the one who now pulls him back from the edge is the very same person. This fragile girl goes out to find food for him and gently comforts him. At the table, I speak first. What's your name? I am Kai, and you are Seen, the guide who was exiled here. Why? Even the lowest ranked guide is precious to the Federation. No matter how serious the crime, no one should be sent here. I answer honestly. I also heard other sentinels. You are just a delicate guide. What could you possibly do to them? I never thought that the Federation's sentinels had fallen this low. If I were in good shape, what the little guide put me through would have barely been a nuisance. A few lashes. That's it. No matter what, they should not have exiled you to a place like this. I sneak a glance at him. The torture devices are still on the victim's body, and he has already forgiven and forgotten. This merman is way too easy to win over. Then I straighten up and say seriously, I know I was wrong. I'm here to make things right. I will never whip anyone again. The Federation sent the original soul to heal those dark sentinels. Instead, she whipped every single one of them. Safe to say, she burned every bridge there was. Getting Kai on my side is the key to my survival. The merman across from me looks at the little guide and, unable to stop himself, reaches out and ruffles her hair. I believe you. The little guide is the light of hope in this world. How could she ever be wrong? She is just a little naughty, a little cruel. And besides, she has already apologized. Feeling the shift in his attitude, I am thrilled. Then wait here. I will be right back. Okay, I hurry off. Now that he has softened, I need to strike while the iron is hot, free him completely, and win him over for good. But I search the entire room, and the tiny key is nowhere to be found. The frustration is unbearable. Kai is over there waiting, and if I take any longer, the surprise will fly right out the window. On the other side, the merman has indeed been quietly buzzing with anticipation ever since she left. The little guide was so good to him. him today, her eyes bright and shining as she walked away, her smile soft and a little shy. It has been so long since he last had contact with a guide that Kai is nearly dizzy with it. His wounds seem to hurt less. The once lifeless mindscape stirs awake. The long silent spirit form beneath the waves sends up a desperate longing call. But Kai quietly watches the door. 1 hour passes, then 2. The one who left still has not returned. Disappointment and unease creep in. Then, much later, footsteps finally sound outside the door. A flash of excitement lights Kai's eyes. It has to be her, but the smile never reaches his eyes before his heart goes ice cold. He stares, rigid, at the guide walking slowly toward him. In her hand is an iron whip crusted with dried blood. His blood from not long ago. Kai's instinct screams to fight back, but he realizes half his body has gone numb without him noticing. He was so caught up in emotion that he never noticed. The food was poisoned. As he sinks into unconsciousness, rage and hatred flood the merman's heart. She tricked me again. 2 minutes ago, I had been tearing the place apart for half the night when I finally found the key, threaded onto a whip buried in a pile of torture devices. In my rush, I grab the whip and run. I reach the doorway and find the merman already collapsed. I rush over to check on him. What happened? He is not hurt, so why is he unconscious? I quickly unlock the chains on his tail. I pat his face, trying to wake him, but he does not respond at all. Then it hits me. Tonight he drank the soup I made, the one with the unidentified mushrooms. The only explanation is that Kai was poisoned by the mushrooms. I did not drink the soup, so I am fine. I have no idea what to do. I drag a stool over and sit beside his bed to keep watch. It is not long before sleep pulls at me. I slump forward and fall asleep at his bedside. As night deepens, the unconscious merman seethes with rage. Inside the long quiet mindscape, the sea rages violently. Hatred and despair crash like waves, threatening to devour Kai's last shred of reason. Why? Why does she keep deceiving him again and again? Why does she betray his trust and crush his hope? The man's knuckles crack as claws push through his fingertips, the kind that can tear apart mutant creatures barehanded. They slam down and shatter the metal board beneath him. The merman opens his eyes. His cold, slit pupils hold nothing but savage killing intent. Psychic energy surges unchecked. His first target, the girl asleep at his bedside, dreaming. I am hit by a wave of cold dread. My psychic energy explodes in response, throwing up a shield around me. I stare wide-eyed at Kai, who barely looks human anymore. His slit eyes burn with raw, feral instinct, nothing like the calm and warmth of before. I scramble to run, but the merman is faster. He has become pure animal, running entirely on instinct. He catches the faintest trace of guide essence in the air and strikes like lightning, pulling me into his arms and frantically searching for more. His burning breath washes over me. A scale catches my neck and draws blood. I try to break free, but the tail wrapped around my legs only tightens. After a long moment, I realize the merman has no intention of hurting me. He just keeps sniffing, as if searching for something. So I take a wild chance, grab his hair, and yank his head back. What surprises me is that the merman does not fight back or hurt me. Instead, he murmurs brokenly, "Please, give it to me. Give me your guide essence." But I have only been in this world for 1 day and truly have no idea how to release guide essence on purpose. I am both frantic and frustrated. It is not that I refuse. I genuinely do not know how. But a merman who has lost all reason cannot hear a word of it. He has already pushed out his psychic energy, trying to force his way into my psychic channel to draw out that soothing, comforting force. But no matter how long he hammers at the door, only the faintest wisp of psychic energy leaks through. Yet even that tiny trace, my own unique guide essence, is enough to drive the merman nearly wild. The tail coiled around my waist squeezes tighter. I frantically sweep through the items on the bedside table and finally find a small hammer. I bring it down on the back of Kai's head. The merman has absolutely no guard up against this soft, sweet little human. One knock and the world goes quiet. I wriggle out of his arms, relieved. Sentinels in a psychic rampage are terrifying, especially a dark sentinel. Yet all this one did was hold me and beg for guide essence over and over again. After everything that has happened, I am completely drained. I drag myself back to my room and crash. The next morning, when Kai wakes up, he finds the door, which had been open, now closed. And in his mindscape, the sea has gone calm once more. Deep below, the blue whale blows guilty little bubbles. Kai thinks back to last night. His expression shifts. He must have gone into a psychic rampage. He lost all control. He had assumed she was gone so long because she was planning to hurt him. He never imagined she was trying to free him. Kai stares at his unshackled tail. Panic floods his face. What did I do to her yesterday? Ignoring the raw wound on his tail, he jumps off the bed. I have to find her. Moments later, in her room, Kai watches the sleeping girl, a few dried tears on her lashes, curled into herself like she is afraid of something. Guilt crashes over him. Federation guides live only in the White Tower, surrounded by flowers and sunlight. They eat the finest food, have private butlers at home, and personal guards when they travel. Yet Zin, stranded here, has already paid the price for what the original soul did. And when she tries to make things right, what did he do to her? He did not trust her. He went into a full psychic rampage. Kai looks at the cut on the girl's neck. He drowns in bottomless guilt and pain. He kneels at the little guide's bedside, red-eyed, whispering, "It was all my fault. I must have terrified you." From the state of his spirit form, he did receive healing last night. But sentinels in a rampage always lose their minds. During all of that, Zin must have suffered. Kai stares at the sleeping girl's face, regret eating him alive. He could slap himself. She was already so kind to him. Why did he still refuse to trust her? Why did he hurt her? Then the merman clasps his hands together at her bedside. In the way unique to his kind, a blessing and a hymn, he lets a series of deep ethereal notes drift into her ear. The girl's furrowed brow slowly relaxes. Her breathing steadies. Kai slips quietly out of the room and heads swiftly into the wild. Last night she mentioned going out again today to look for food, but no proper sentinel would ever let a precious guide do the hard work herself. Back in the bedroom, I wake up. I slept so long. Last night was one nightmare after another, but somehow the nightmares stopped. A vast, gentle ocean washed everything away. I even heard something ethereal and beautiful. I bring a nutrient fluid to check on the merman, and stop dead. Lined up neatly is a row of nutrient fluids, and a mountain of fish. I'm sorry, I went into a psychic rampage again yesterday. Do you remember what happened? Kai shakes his head. Sentinels in a rampage only act on instinct. He does not remember, but he can guess. I must have hurt her. That is why she knocked me out. The merman swallows hard with guilt. Hit me. Lock me up again like before. Do whatever you want to vent. I shake my head. You did not do it on purpose. That gentle, forgiving look finally breaks the merman. Tears slip free. He chokes out. But I almost hurt you. How could I do that to you? I press a nutrient fluid into his hands. Is every sentinel on Purgatory Star like this? What do you mean? Swinging between calm and out of control. Only the ones the Federation has given up on get sent here. The Federation does not come back for us. We are all just waiting to die. At that, the merman's fist tightens. But before I die, I will protect you as best I can. It is only now that I notice the handcuffs on Kai. Did you bring these? I have a shelter by the shore. There are some useful things inside. The merman watches the girl's expression closely. He finds no trace of blame on her face at all. The merman says earnestly, I am useful to you too. You should not be this lenient with me. You should order me around and make me do whatever you need. I cannot help myself. I reach up and ruffle his long hair. Thank you, Kai. That simple touch turns the merman's face red. He instinctively nuzzles her palm, his tail swaying gently. In his mindscape, the blue whale blows cheerful bubbles. But just as I tease the merman, unbeknownst to us far away at a military base, a man is on his knees on the floor, breathing hard, struggling to reach a suppressant from the bedside table. The cold liquid slowly pushes in through the needle. Julian slumps against the bed. His green eyes stare blankly out the window. His gold hair is drenched in sweat and hanging limp. Several buttons on his uniform have burst open, revealing a burn brand on his chest, healed over into a scar. Even the once strong, beautiful golden retriever in his mindscape now lies limp on the ground, just as drained as its owner. From the very first day that guide arrived, Julian had gone to find her. His mindscape burned like a wildfire every single day, and his once vibrant spirit form grew thinner by the hour. Julian knocked on her door himself, hoping to beg the girl to ease his suffering, whatever the cost. But once that door closed, the soft, lovely guide revealed a brutal side. When he finally came out, this once brilliant young general was left barely clinging to life. The others left at the base erupted in fury and drove the white-haired woman out. Now Julian has fallen into another psychic rampage. No one can save him now. Julian thinks, maybe I should do what Kai did. Leave this heartbreaking place and wander alone. The man hauls himself unsteadily to his feet. He walks away from the base, his retreating figure straight as a soldier's. Meanwhile, I watch Kai after another hunt has left him even weaker, and decide to go out for food again. I ignore Kai's objections, grab a handgun, and head out. I assumed the mutant creatures nearby had all been cleared out, that there would be no real danger. I am wrong. It is not long before I need the gun. A man in uniform is surrounded by 3 humanoid mutant creatures. A sleek, powerful golden retriever spirit form circles its owner, teeth bared, eyes burning red. This is my first time seeing a spirit form in the real world. I never imagined that something that looks just like a pet could actually hold its own against terrifying monsters. Without thinking, I empty several shots into one of the mutant creatures. I watch it drop, my heart hammering. The golden retriever seems to sense something. It wags its tail toward my hiding spot, then quickly turns its attention back to the remaining 2 mutant creatures, launching itself forward to fight. Only then do I notice that the strikingly built man is already unconscious. No wonder only the spirit form is still fighting. And the spirit form itself is not doing well. Its coat is dry and matted, its eyes glazed, fighting on pure last breath. The battle ends. The golden retriever is covered in wounds, panting on the ground. I inch closer carefully. The big dog has no strength left to stand. It weakly wags its tail at me, and then vanishes. Only now do I notice the burn brand on the man's chest. It hits me immediately. This is one of the SSS rank sentinels from the base. The first person the original soul targeted after the exile. Guilt punches through me. Julian's rapid decline has everything to do with what the original soul did. A SSS rank sentinel, reduced to being cornered by low-level mutant creatures. I reach out and place my hand on his forehead. My unique psychic energy slips in effortlessly. Inside, his mindscape opens up. A wide, open grassland with a large dog bed in the center. Julian's spirit form had been lying there. The moment it sees my psychic self, it leaps up with excitement. I reach out and touch the golden retriever, looking at its dry, matted fur. My heart aches. Professional instinct kicks in. I want to comb it out. The big dog clearly loves this intruding psychic presence, pressing into me again and again. It is so strong it nearly knocks me over. Then I do what I did for Kai. I go hunting for dark miasma through Julian's mindscape. In no time at all, I have cleared most of the miasma nearby. Soon my psychic self begins to fade. Before I go, I wrap my arms around the golden retriever's big head and give it a thorough, loving scrub. The dog immediately flops over and offers me its belly. This dog is so pure, even for someone who hurt it not long ago. It still gives its whole heart and trust. I have to go. I will come find you again next time. I give the dog's wet nose a kiss and say a reluctant goodbye. Then I leave. Outside, I stare down at the unconscious man. Leaving him out here is too dangerous. But how am I supposed to get him back? Drifting in and out of consciousness, Julian thinks this is how it ends. He is 21 years old. He graduated from military academy at 15, entered the battlefield, and won victory after victory, even restoring his crumbling family to glory, until 1 year ago, when his spirit form began to deteriorate. When no healing came, he was discarded like something something that had outlived its use, expelled by the Federation to Purgatory Star, abandoned by the very family he had rebuilt. But he is only 21. He does not want to die. Someone, please save him. Julian struggles in endless pain and despair when he suddenly feels a hand lightly brush against him. Warm, soothing guide essence blooms, lighting up his world. Julian opens his eyes. On this lifeless star, all he sees is a patch of white. "Good girl, you did so well!" A bright, clear voice rings. A golden retriever, dizzy with praise, breaks into a run with its owner on its back, showing off its powerful body, completely ignoring the fact that its owner is about to be shaken to pieces. "Scar, slow down." I am leading the way up ahead. I turn around. "You are awake?" But before Julian can answer, the golden retriever slams to a stop and sends Julian flying off its back, then sits tall with its chest puffed out, waiting for praise. Who can resist a dog with those eyes? Not me. I pet it and ask, "Are you Julian? Such an adorable dog, and you named her Scar?" Julian sits on the ground, staring blankly at the girl. This woman seems to have completely forgotten what she once put him through, and even his spirit form has been fooled again by her soft, sweet act. "Yes, you actually remember me. From the very first day the little guide arrived in exile, her eyes had locked onto each of their faces and refused to let go. Every sentinel at the base was once a top-tier SS rank. They all came from elite, noble families, carefully selected from the finest. Hard not to be stunning. Yet her interest in his spirit form is clearly far greater than her interest in him." He runs his fingers through Scar's fur like a comb, working through the tangles. Aside from that brief moment of eye contact when they spoke, she has not looked at him once. Spirit forms and their owners typically share sensation. Every stroke the girl gives Scar sends a tingling through Julian's scalp, a ripple of warmth spreading all the way down his spine. He uses every bit of self-control not to shiver. He almost tells her about the shared sensation, but swallows the words. All that comes out is, "Where do you want Scar to take you?" I do not notice any of his inner struggle. My eyes are only on the adorable dog. "Your spirit form is named Scar. She is clearly such a sweet girl." "What?" "I want Scar to bring you back to where I live. Do you want to come?" Julian's expression dims. Do I have a choice? Kai has almost certainly fallen into this woman's hands by now. He was so weak, just a trace of guide essence would have been enough to lure him in. When he left, he still did not know about any of this. He must have been tortured already, and now it is my turn to repeat the same mistake. Julian watches his shameless spirit form, the golden retriever shoving its head deeper and deeper into the girl's arms, grinning with shameless devotion. The little guide is pushed off balance by all the nuzzling, yet her lips carry a fond, indulgent smile. Just then, the sweet guide essence flows from the spirit form back to Julian, and his constant pain eases for the first time. Julian closes his eyes. He thinks, it is over. If this gentle warmth is a trap, he is willing to sink into it and never wake up before he dies. Then I speak. "If you do not want to come, I will not force you. I am only asking as a favor to Scar. Julian was the original soul's very first victim. He must hate her with everything he has. I am willing to take responsibility for what the original soul did, but I am not shameless enough to push myself on him. I will not beg for forgiveness I have not earned." But to my surprise, even after I have already prepared myself to be rejected, Julian says, "I have made my peace with it. All right, I will go with you." Every person's spirit form reflects the deepest truth of their heart. The fact that Scar is this attached to her means he himself cannot stop thinking about her. Saying those words out loud would be too humiliating, but Julian simply cannot refuse her, not even after being hurt once before. On the other side, the merman had been resting with his eyes closed. The moment he hears familiar footsteps, his eyes snap open and he springs to his feet. "You're back!" But then he spots the golden retriever behind me and his voice drops flat. I do not notice any of this. I just catch the long missed smell of home-cooked food. Surprised and delighted, I turn to Kai. "You even cooked?" The merman glances at the golden retriever beside me, a dark, complicated look in his eyes. "Just a little something. I was waiting for you." As old battle companions, Scar definitely recognizes Kai. The retriever is already wagging its tail and trotting over to say hello, when it suddenly feels a cold, sharp gaze and Scar's neck pulls back. Something feels off, but I am busy washing my hands and completely miss all of this. "Oh, Kai, do you know Julian?" At that, Kai looks away, refusing to look at the ridiculous dog trying to steal his attention. "Not really. We just once trusted each other with our backs in battle, that's all. He is the only one who has tasted healing from the little guide. He has not even fully recovered his human form after the rampage, and now there is another one. In this galaxy, bullets can be shared, mechs can be shared, but a guide can never be shared." Scar picks up on Kai's mood instantly. The wagging tail goes still. Scar stares at him, just as serious. A merman and a dog, and the tension between them is suffocating. "Julian is still unconscious. Let's go eat." I rub my hands together eagerly. "Oh, does Scar need to eat?" Kai gives Scar an icy glance. "Spirit forms can restore themselves through energy crystals or by resting in the mindscape. They do not need to eat human food." I see. I look over the table. "Did you make all of this? That is incredible." At that, Kai's sour mood vanishes completely. He cannot keep the smile from his lips. "Just threw something together." After the meal, I pick up the bowls and chopsticks. Kai reaches over and snatches them away in one swift move. "Guides do not do dishes. Go relax. I will handle this." The shock nearly does me in. Is the water in this prison toxic? No. Guides are the most precious beings in the galaxy. Having her take care of him these past few days was already unforgivable. Now that he can move, there is no way he is watching her do chores. I scratch my head. "Your food was so good I accidentally ate everything. Later I should get something for Julian." Kai's hands pause on the dishes. "Just give him nutrient fluid. He brought back plenty of high-grade nutrient fluid. More than enough. If he wakes up and dares to compete with me, then do not blame me for forgetting we were ever comrades."